All right, here we go. We got this little baby right here. This is a German chocolate cake lager with cocoa nibs, toasted coconut, pecans, and vanilla beans from Licking Hole Creek Craft Brewery. So I have had, I think, one other beer from them. This one is 8% right there. You can see all the info. Pretty classic looking can. Let's see what it's all about though. It's funny because it's a lager with all these additives instead of like an ale. Interesting. Surprisingly not bad. And kind of full bodied. That's what's up. That's pretty interesting. Definitely has a good chocolate character to it. Yeah, definitely good chocolate. I don't know about the coconut, but yeah, that's nice. So we're gonna be doing our Holy Kaw Vor V Tallow Sierra base. You can see right there. The Vor V is a pretty good for year-round use. This stuff is surprisingly, for being a Halloween release, it's not very Halloween-esque. I mean, the label art's pretty badass, but it's pretty fresh of a scent. I could see this being worn year-round. I detect the raspberry and black tea fairly easily. I think I do get some like geranium because it has like a floral touch to it. I think like the leather and amber and musk. Those are just like in the base and the heart, rounding it out. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. I do enjoy this. I just put it in front of my wife's nose. She said, smells good. So that's what we got out of that. We're going to be using a custom Western Kamisori. This one was loaned to me from my buddy that I got into wedge shaving. He went off the deep end pretty quickly. Got himself a custom off Etsy from J3 Customs. And this is a Western Kamisori. So you can see it has a grind similar to a normal straight razor rather than an asymmetrical grind where there is a heavy slant on one side and then more shallow on the other. That's kind of like traditional Kamisoris. This is what they call a Western Kamisori, where it's more like a straight razor. But it is 8/8, and you can see it is quite wedgy. So we're going to give this a shot. Funny story about the little engraving there. The guy asked him, I can put your initials or some engraving on the razor if you'd like. And he was like, yeah, that sounds good. And he was like, what'd you want? And he was like, you can just put my initials. And he told him his initials. And he was kind of unaware that he was going to go to the lengths that he went to, putting like a 1/2 inch tall, dead in the center of the blade, initials on both sides, even. I told him it's a little bit cheesy, but still a pretty fucking cool razor if you minus that. So I have a soap loaded up into my Lancaster bowl. Gonna be using the good old Alpha shaving with the Gelousy knot on top. And we're just gonna get with it. So I have used Sierra one time before, and that was courtesy of Shaving with Chief. He sent along a bunch of samples of like top bases at that time, and Sierra was in the mix, and I was very impressed with it. Sierra was good shit, and for the price, I mean, it damn well better be. One thing I like about Holy Kaw's soap base, and it's been like this for a while, even before Sierra, is that they have hops extract in there. I always thought that was pretty cool, being the beer lover that I am. The hops extract, what it brings to the table is it's actually a anti-inflammatory. I don't think it's anything like, groundbreaking or anything like that, but it does help in a little bit of anti-inflammatory. I've talked to multiple soap makers. They all know this, especially the ones that make beer soap. And so that's just a cool little tidbit. But holy cow, I think they put that in all their soaps. So that's what's up. I would support Holy Cow more if they weren't so dang expensive. They release a ton of cool shit. Their artwork lately has been fire. Like, I don't know, at some point they decided to go off the beaten path where they have their one generic label and just, different scent names on the front. And they went off the beaten path, hired an artist or whatever they did. And they got some really cool labels now. So that's fucking awesome. Let's go ahead and get this lather to the face. Still got my wristwatch on, so I gotta be wary of that. Don't want to dunk that thing in the water. So I'm excited to use this. I did kind of scrape the razor on my hand there. I got some hairs on my hand. I did that just to kind of see if it was going to pop those hairs, because I don't know, how many shaves this razor has on it. I don't know if my buddy knows how to strop properly. I mean, none of these things. I know he got it pretty early on in his wet shaving journey. So he could have fucked things up along the way and not known. But I think he still shaves with it, so it must be in good shape if he's still getting good shaves out of it. I mean, I would guess so, right? So we're gonna give it a shot. I did strop it before the shave, which is something that I don't normally do, but I just wanted to be extra sure that it was gonna be in like decent shaving shape. I don't know if the Sierra and the Gelousy knot aren't playing well together, but I'm losing. It looks like I don't have much of a lather, but I loaded a little bit heavier than normal. Just a little bit. And I don't think you'd be able to tell that I loaded heavy. It definitely doesn't look like it. Oh well, we'll work with what we got. I don't give a shit. What I do got looks fucking dense and creamy, but maybe it's just my inexperience with the Sierra base. But here we go. Right there, that chunky 8/8 wedgy Western Kamisori. Here we go. I've never done any work with J3 Customs, and I've never really heard anybody talk about J3 Customs. But this razor does look pretty fucking dope and unique. The benefit of it having a Western grind is that you can switch hands. I can basically shave it the same way I shave my other straight razors. So that's a bonus. So, I don't know. I'm unsure as of this moment if it's like struggling a little or not. I know with wedges I need to open up the angle a little bit, so I need to be a little bit more conscious of that. But, oh, nope, it's definitely cutting. It's definitely cutting. It's not feeling uncomfortable necessarily, but it just doesn't have that buttery smooth feel to it either. So we're kind of just getting like an average amount of enjoyment here. Like I said, without those tacky initials on the blade, I think this thing would be a pretty fucking sweet blade, no doubt. Let's see. Well, I think we busted out pretty good with the grain pass. It's definitely cutting. Definitely got the job done, knocking it down. Definitely has some weight to it as well. I can definitely notice that, even minus the scales. That's a big chunk of metal right there. Let's get some more moisture on the face. I actually did a beard care video earlier. Somebody, one of the subscribers, Rainbow, requested it, and it was kind of perfect timing for the request because No Shave November was right around the corner, so that's pretty dope. If you were thinking about participating in No Shave November, you can definitely give that video a check. It's just kind of like beard care basics is all it is. I don't go like too crazy in depth because I didn't want the video to be super long, but I just kind of ran down the basics of kind of like day-to-day beard care. So if you were going to be participating in No Shave November, that is something to look into. It'll at least get you through your 30 days. I'm going to add some more water to this just to kind of see what happens, because I don't got shit to lose. And if more lather explodes out of it, that's just kind of a plus. And if it gets thinner, I'll deal with it thinner. And it kind of looks like it's just going to get thinner. Yeah, I remember having a way better experience with Sierra. With that sample that I got from Chief. So I'm wondering if I used a synthetic maybe way back when, or what was the deal? Because Sierra was supposed to be some pretty hot shit, and it definitely carries some density here, but the lather just kind of soaked right down to nothing. And that's I put quite a bit, man. There's a hefty layer on there, so it's a little bit unimpressive, especially for the price.
get this against the grain on the neck, see how that goes. It's weird having that a little bit more open angle. I mean, that's where the razor's wanting it. I can tell, I can feel it. But it's definitely strange. I don't really have any wedge razors of my own.
I think the closest I got was that Joseph Elliott that Marion the Barbarian let me borrow. We're definitely still taking down a little bit extra. You can see all those fine hairs. We're definitely still cutting. And it's not so bad. It's just not the smoothest. Like, I don't think it's hair popping sharp, but it's sharp enough to get the job done. Like, it's not like Frank's Edge. Frank's Edge is kind of in that scary sharp realm. But Frank's also versatile enough to make a smooth edge as well. But I think J3 Customs is definitely worthy of checking out, though, because this is a cool piece of fucking art. Like, it might be a little bit much for some people, but I do think others are gonna like the art, like artsy style of it. Kind of has like a somewhat like gothic look to it. Medieval even. Right. I gotta say, I didn't mind this Western Kami at all. It's basically like a normal straight razor, but on a stick. And that worked out just fine for me. I'm sure we went a little heavy in some spots, but I'm not seeing any runners. Like, I could see some bright red right there. So I probably took the top off something. But I don't got no runners. Don't got no weepers. Looks good. So let's get this lather off the face. We'll get into the post. I still enjoy the hell out of that Gelousy knot, but I wonder if it had a part in eating that lather, or if I'm just not familiar enough with Siero and maybe I added too much water. Maybe I had more water to add yet. Who knows? I just need more time with it, more time to experiment with it. I will say, if I needed more soap at that price range, that's getting into the terrible value range. If I needed more soap than that, I have fairly soft water as is. It shouldn't have been that hard with that much soap to make a pretty impressive lather. But some of these new bases are kind of finicky, so we'll see. I'll spend some more time with this Siero base and see what I can come up with. At any rate, it did have some density to it,
And it was still slick, regardless. So, that's a pretty fucking cool shave, pretty unique. Experience using that Western Kamisori. So I guess I should thank my buddy Jason for letting me check this Western Kamisori out. Kind of came full circle. I got my buddy into the hobby. Now my buddy's letting me use some of the cool shit that he's picking up. And we can kind of, you know, share gear a little bit since he lives right in the same city. So, thanks, Jason. I appreciate you, man. It was definitely a cool-ass experience. You know how I feel about those initials in the middle of the blade, though. So here we go. We got the matching Vor V Aftershave Splash. We got the Star Wars intro of ingredients. Just a whole fucking shitload of them. But they do include alcohol. It does include menthol. And I don't think this one has hops extract, which I think it would be more suited to be in this one. But maybe the hops extract carries too much weight as far as fragrance goes that they weren't willing to let it overpower the aftershave. Who knows? That has to be a factor, though. The scent on this one, I actually really like it. This is definitely a winner for me. I'm happy I picked it up. I really enjoy that raspberry now. Like, it pokes out in front of the pack, but it's not super bright. It's actually kind of subdued. And then that kind of heart of black tea and geranium, and then that base with all that amber and oud and leather and musk. Just a very nice fragrance. Not at all dark, but I would say maybe approaching warm. Like it's a fresh scent, but maybe it's approaching like a warm scent. So if that makes any sense at all. So that was that. Sounds like my wife's cranking on the shower or something. Vor V, holy Kaw Vor V. That was some good suds. As far as scent goes, the suds got the job done. I don't know, need to experiment. I had my Alpha with the Gelousy knot, my Lancaster bowl and towel, and then of course the J3 custom Western Kamisori. So that was gonna be my Halloween shave. I might be in the hills again hunting, so if you don't see me, that's where I am. Hopefully you stayed around long enough to hear this part, but I will be back. So cheers to you guys. We'll finish where we started with the lager here, and thanks for all the support. I hope you guys have a safe and fun Halloween, whatever it is that you decide to do. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.